I'm going to carry on with my zombie film reviews. So I thought I would review two of my favourite zombie films of all time, and they actually lead on from each other. They're not completely different. So I'm going to review the British zombie films, and quite frankly, two of the greatest zombie films ever made. The 28 Days and Weeks Later. Now, 28 Days Later is the beginning of the tale. It tells a story of a person called Jim, who's played by Cillian Murphy, who was in Red Light and was in the Dark Knight trilogy as the Scarecrow and Dr. Jonathan Crane. Jim wakes up in a hospital and finds out that basically the world has ended as he knows it. There's people with red eyes and blood hanging out of their mouths. Although they're never actually called zombies in this, they're actually called the infected. They're pretty much zombies because the infection is passed on through blood, through bites, saliva, anything like that. So it's original, this film is, and quite frankly, these are some of the scariest zombies you'll ever see. They're actually vicious, not like the zombies from the only other British zombie film that I can think of, Shaun of the Dead. They're not slow, idiotic. These ones are quite vicious, quite angry, and would eat you alive. And quickly as well. They wouldn't take their time doing it. They would rip you to shreds. It's mainly based in London. However, it does go up to Manchester when Jim and three other people go up to this army base where they're supposed to be there, but the army guys actually end up turning out to be the bad guys. The leader of the armies is actually Christopher Eccleston, who was in things such as Doctor Who. He's going to be in the upcoming Thor film, I believe. He was in the first series of Heroes. This film, now, it's quite dark. All of it is dark. There's no... Well, the ending's happy, that's about it. There's very little happiness in it, and it's not for the faint-hearted, so I wouldn't recommend you watch it if you don't like anything like blood or anything like that. There's one thing that does amaze me with this film, though, that I only actually discovered a couple of weeks ago. There's a character called Frank in it. Now, he's played by the same person who plays Mad-Eye Moody in the Harry Potter series. In this film, he ends up with getting infected through blood through the eye, which I find quite unusual, really. I know it's a weird coincidence, but it's quite odd when you think about the fact that Mad-Eye Moody has a weird eye and this character gets infected in the eye. So I'd probably have to give this an 8.5 out of 10. It's a very indie film. One of Danny Boyle's earliest films and one of his finest films, though. A lot better than Slumdog Millionaire and 127 Hours.